Today's my lecture topic is working of space shuttle. Actually, space shuttles are used for delivering goods and the crew members to the International Space Station. Actually, the space shuttle worked by launching into orbit like a rocket, utilizing solid rocket boosters and main engines for initial ascent, and then returning to Earth like a glider landing on a runway. Launch. Actually, in space shuttle, while launching, the thrust is a main important phenomenon because the space shuttle main engines and solid rocket boosters provided the necessary thrust to lift the orbiter off the ground and into orbit. Next one is SRB. What is SRB means? SRBs were jettisoned after about 2 minutes of flight and landed into the ocean, where they were recovered and reused. This is the SRBs. Next one is external tank in space shuttle. The external tank carried the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen fuel for the SSMEs and was jettisoned after the main engines were shut down. Next one is orbiter. The orbiter, resembling a large airplane, continued its ascent, carrying the crew and payload into orbit. In orbit means the orbiter would then perform various tasks in orbit, including deploying satellites, conducting experiments, and docking with space stations. These are the functions of the orbit. What is meant by docking? In space shuttle, docked with Russia's space station 9 times and flew to International Space Station 36 times. Next one is in space shuttle, the re-entry and landing is very important. Because once we launched to the International Space Station, the shuttle reached the space station, and after completing the work, the shuttle must return to the Earth. That is the primary task of the space shuttle. While re-entry and landing, heat sealed, the orbiter's heat sealed made of special heat resistant tiles protected the spacecraft from the extreme temperatures of re-entering Earth's atmosphere. While re-entering, the gliding is an important parameter because once in the atmosphere, the orbiter glided back to air, landing on a runway like an airplane. Next one is parachute. As it rolled along the runway, it deployed a parachute to slow down, because without parachute the space shuttle cannot come down to the earth. So the parachute is an important element while landing the space shuttle. Next one is space shuttle fleet. Space flight is nothing but the amount of vehicles. The space shuttle fleet include Enterprise, Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour. These are the 5 types of space shuttle available in our world. That is Enterprise, Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour. The first fully functional orbiter was Columbia, built in California. Columbia was delivered to Kennedy Space Center on March 25, 1979 and was first launched on April 12, 1981. This is the space shuttle of Columbia 21. When a rocket burns propellants and pushes out exhaust, that creates an upward force called thrust. To launch, the rocket needs enough propellant so that the thrust pushing the rocket up is greater than the force of gravity pulling the rocket down. Next one is how the space shuttle engine works. Means the engine throws the mass of gas out in one direction in order to get a reaction in the opposite direction. The mass comes from the weight of the fuel that the rocket engine burns. The burning process accelerates the mass of fuel so that it comes out the rocket nozzle at a high speed.